Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of That Went Well. Thank you so much for joining me once again as we continue our food-related journeys here on the show. Today I'm excited because it is part 2 of our series with Drunk Off My Bundt. The last episode you saw me do a tasting video of their fantastic Boozy Bundt cakes, and if you remember, it was an amazing experience and a very tasty experience. And I'm very thankful to share that I have had so many views on that video, and I'm so appreciative of everyone that stopped by to check out that particular episode. Today I'm even more excited because I get to welcome Mike and Stephanie Montellano, that are the owners and proprietors of Drunk Off My Bundt. As with other interviews that I've done with local businesses, they're going to join me to talk about how Drunk Off My Bundt came to be, some of their experiences that they've had as they've created this business, and I think you'll be impressed like I was at the way in which they've turned their passion into something amazing. So, without further ado, let's take a listen. So I'm joined today by the fantastic folks behind Drunk Off My Bundt, as I've been talking about in the episode so far. Joining me today are Mike and Stephanie Montellano, who are the brains and operation behind Drunk Off My Bundt. And guys, you have a third person there with you that's part of the operation. Who is that?
Caden, that's our son, Caden.
Yeah, I got a chance to meet Caden a few days ago when I first met up with Mike. And one of the first things that strikes me is this is a family affair, this Drunk Off My Bundt business. And so I'm going to want to talk about that as part of your experience. But to get us started, how did this all come about? I love bundt cakes, but I'd never heard of Boozy Bundt cakes. So where did this all begin?
Well, it's been quite a few years that I started making our family recipe. It's just the basic Bacardi rum cake, the one with the pecans. And my mother has sold them. My uncle was a baker. He's a very prominent baker in New Mexico. He was popular for selling them. My aunts would sell them. So this is a recipe that kind of was passed down, and so I do it every holiday. I would make the rum cakes, and when I left my position in February, I decided, needed to bring in some kind of income. So I started doing the rum cakes again, but figured I'd try the minis. And so I started doing the mini rum cakes, and then thought, let me just explore and try other flavors. And all of a sudden it just kind of just kept coming, and the ideas kept coming, and I'd see a drink and it's like, I'm going to turn that into a cake. And so kind of where it started.
Yeah. That's awesome. Does the brainstorming include all of you? I mean, do you all think about this and come up with different combinations? How does that work?
Usually, like if Michael think of something and he'll tell me, we'll ask Caden his idea for the kid-friendly ones. But for the most part, Mike is my taste tester.
Nice.
He's the one. I don't like to taste my own stuff, so I'll have Michael taste the and make sure that they're good quality and something that he thinks that other people would buy.
Yeah. Well, and I'm glad that you said that, because Mike, part of taste testing, of course, obviously we benefit from being able to do something like that, but have you had situations where you've been able to contribute ideas and, sort of make this a teamwork kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a family business that just came about.
Yeah.
We all give a little bit of ideas as far as the way the cakes come out looking, or the way we put them together as far as the boxes and things like that. But it's a family affair. We're also trying to teach Caden how to run a small business, because it'll help him in the future with his habits as far as when he becomes an adult. That'll help him tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of lessons to be learned. Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. Go ahead, Sophie.
Our daughter right now is in there, and she's actually helping package and stick on the stickers as well. She's my older daughter, so they also come in and help. So it's not just us three. My other daughters will come in and help out as well.
Like when I'm at work, like I was at work today, so I was trying to get home sooner, but I wasn't able to. So we called on Frankie to help out. and they'll fill in like whenever we need help, fill in the spots, the gaps. So it's a
Gotcha.
little bit of everybody helping out from time to time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think that's what I've learned a lot in the recent weeks of working with families that are doing are building a business. It takes a village, as I say, to make something successful.
Yeah.
And when it can be family, then it's even that much better. I'm interested in finding out. I mean, the name of the business sounds pretty obvious given what your product is, but how many different ideas did you come up with before you settled on what I consider to be one of the greatest business names ever? How did you get to Drunk Off My Bundt?
She had. I would just give you the number, but I'll let her tell the story. I would say she went through about maybe 5 before, and then maybe even more just brainstorming before she put it a paper. But I'll let her tell you how she came about the name. But I would say about 5 or 6, right?
Yeah, we originally started off with Get in My Belly treats, and it was just doing, a lot of different things for a little while. But I wanted something catchier, and since the bundt cakes was kind of where we were going, I wanted something that nobody else had. And so I had a lot of resistance because I did ask a lot of people's opinions, what did you think of this? And they're like, no, do boozy bunts or do buzzy bunts and, things like that. But they just didn't grasp me. And this one stuck to me. I was like, I used to back in the day drunk off my rear end, and so I was like, you know what? I'd say drunk off my butt. So I was like, let's just say drunk off my bundt, and it just stuck. And we just thought it was just a phenomenal name. So we kept it.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
decided
absolutely.
on that.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mike.
Oh, you're good. We had one lady. The only reason why she bought cakes was because of the name. She goes, I just had to buy cakes because I love the name so much. I didn't even know what they were gonna be tasteful, but
Yeah.
the name is what caught her. It's doing its purpose.
Yeah, it's really catchy. When I was first introduced to your business by Jeremiah from PB&J with Tay, he tagged you or tagged me, I should say, in one of your posts, and I immediately, my wife was in the next room, and I was like, oh my gosh, listen to this name, and that was it for me. I was like, I've got to meet these folks because it's such a unique name. When it comes to the visuals, in the tasting video, one of the things I commented on more than once was just how much of a work of art each bundt was. Talk a little bit about when you're creating those, where do these ideas come from, or how do you get to a point? Because even, for instance, the margarita one that had that little slight slice of lime, right? There's probably a lot of thought that goes into it because you might overdo it, possibly. It's very understated, yet it's very beautiful. How much thought goes into the creation of the visuals?
I kind of think of the drinks. I kind of think of what I would want something to look like. I want it to be something inviting, something completely different than what you would normally purchase. Like my cookies and cream, it's not very structured. It's just kind of, it's there. So it's attracting. And so when I do make, a lot of my bunts, I want to find something that's going to be attractive. Unless they're subtle, like my rum cake, I won't do anything else to it. The pecans speak for themselves. The powdered sugar speaks for itself. So I won't add too much. So I kind of get a feel with what the drink is to kind of mix that with the topping. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, they're really something to look at, and whether it's the alcohol version or the non-alcohol version, there's just something appealing to the eye. As you have moved forward in this journey, you talked about how this became, something that, I think it's safe to say that we've all been impacted in some way by COVID, and I've heard of businesses that are launched because of, exactly what you're describing. Was food a passion before this? Did this sort of become your passion, or what are your thoughts on how food influenced you as a family and even individually?
Well, one thing that I'm very much well known for with my previous employees, from my friends, is I always love to cook, and I always love to make food and make them smile. My husband's a coach on a nonprofit football team, and so we would invite all the coaches and we would feed all them. And so just seeing people's expressions when they enjoy the food, when they get to try different foods, or they call me up, are you making some of that, can I get some of that, it drives my passion. And that stems down from my mother. Watching my mother many years, she would cook for people all over the place, always send my dad to work with treats and things like that. So I learned very young just to give, and spoil people with my food. And so that's kind of where my passion for food has come. And my husband has always been such a amazing can say partner. He's always 100% dedicated in whatever I decide to do, no matter how crazy it is. He's always 100% on board, which makes us even stronger, because I don't like to do the business part of the whole business. I'll do the baking, but my husband loves to talk to people. He loves to sell products and meet people, and that's where his niche is. He's just amazing in that aspect. So if I didn't have him, I probably wouldn't have the business right now, because I just like to sit in my kitchen and do what I do in there, and that's about it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I noticed that one of the things we spoke of, or I spoke of in the previous episode, was that you have a monthly flavor that you feature. I'm curious, have there been any misses when you create something and it's not quite what you thought it could be, or anything that's sort of not ended up where you wanted it?
I don't think so. I mean, I think I asked her one day, I go, how do you make all the cakes so moist on the first shot of trying to make one? And it's like, she says, it just happens. So she kind of has like a niche for it. It runs in the family, like her. They just have the magic for being in the kitchen. So
yeah.
I did try a keto one.
Oh, the keto. Yeah.
And I didn't like it. I did have some of my customers try it, and they loved it. But for me, it just wasn't the quality that my other bunts were. So I just didn't want to go down that route. I'm like, mine's just going to be the ones that you're just going to have to splurge on. I can't give you the healthy version. It's not going to work.
Gotcha.
I mean, it did come out good though. I mean, it came out really good because the customer she buys cakes from us all the time, but she said it was really good, but she just didn't feel it wasn't for her yet.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
They liked it though.
Yeah. So then, opposite question: do you have a favorite? And Kate, maybe you can jump in on this one also. Each of you, do you of all the ones that you've made? I've experienced a few. Do each of you have a favorite of the ones that y'all have made so far?
I'll let Kaden start.
My mom, she made one, but it was a chocolate chip one that she stopped selling it because it didn't really work out. But it was really good. I liked it because all of them are really sugary for me, and I don't like really sugary things, and the chocolate chip one wasn't that sugary.
Gotcha. What about you guys?
I think mine was probably when we first started. It was the Crown Peach.
Oh.
But that's the one. The Crown. She had a Crown Peach, but that one's a seasonal liquor. Right? The liquor is seasonal, so she doesn't really do that one very often. But that was one of my favorites when we first started. But now I have to say it would be the turtle, the pecan turtle.
Oh, yeah.
The lime
right
margarita. Yeah, that's our November flavor. So
yeah,
and then she's gonna start doing some a December one.
Gotcha.
So that's coming out too.
Yeah, I would have to say that the turtle is now my favorite. I'm a big pecan fanatic. Not much for chocolate, but the pecan and caramel just, when I tried that one and with that particular liquor, I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. So I fell in love. My parents fell in love, which I knew right away. If my parents really loved it, this was a winner,
It's
that
gonna
it
be a
was
hit.
going to, and that's really been a big seller already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already have like few orders for that one. Just kidding. So
Yeah.
That's awesome.
that's one of everybody's favorites, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I took the first bite and I was like, okay, no, this one's gonna stay with me. So I'm gonna I'll be finishing this one. It's one of those rare moments where I was happy that my wife had a pecan allergy because now I knew that one would be mine. So, but she looked at it at what y'all made and it was so appealing to her that she was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it because I've got to know. And so, when something like that, and it's not a severe allergy, but it's one of those things where it looked so great to her that she thought, you know what, I've got to taste it. And so I think that's the appeal of your food, is that it's visually arresting and then you just can't resist but try it. And so it's a fantastic combination. Now, obviously you spend a lot of time putting your cakes together and your products and so forth. I'm curious, I like to ask this of folks who work in food. When it's not bundt cakes, when it's not your business, what are your go-to foods? What are some foods that you're passionate about for yourself, like some of your favorite dishes?
Well, if we are eating out, one place I have to take my son to all the time is PB&J with Tay. Like
Yeah.
it's the go-to. We have to go there. But at home, I'll let them speak and tell you. But for me, I love trying all of there's a lot of people right now that are cooking out of their homes and they're, making small businesses. And those are the ones that I really like to go to purchase food from them. We have a baker down the road that she makes amazing bread. And so, anytime she comes up with something new, we're grabbing that. So I really love to venture out and, meet up with people that are really trying, as we are, to start up a business. But I'll let them talk about, what they like me to make or like us to eat at home.
She makes a really good green. She just made it the other night, and she showed me how to make it. It's called the green chili chicken cheese enchiladas.
Oh, wow.
It's like kind of like a casserole, but that's really good. That's one of her dishes that she makes really well. And then, what are some other dishes that we like to eat?
My favorite, she only makes it once. My favorite is the one she only makes once a year, and it's green pea casserole. I love it.
The green
Oh,
casserole.
also she makes really the baked beans. I like any kind of beans, but the baked beans that she makes. What does it have in it, babe?
It's just meat and
I
different
just want to give her
things.
away, but
For me, a lot of my cooking stems from New Mexico because all
Okay.
of my family's from New Mexico. So my enchiladas are not like Texas enchiladas.
Yeah.
My pozole is not Texas pozole. I have a lot of people wanting me to start selling that, but I'm like, okay, the bunts are too much for me as it is. I can't
Yeah.
add anything else to it. But we love to just enjoy our food.
Yeah.
And another note, when she said the Mexico style, it brought back to me the enchiladas with the egg on top is how they cook it over there.
Mhm.
So that's one of my favorite dishes that she makes. She made that when we first met, and I fell in love with those. Those are really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. He's saying the pozole is one of his favorites.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've had the occasion to visit New Mexico quite a bit in the last few years, and that's where I discovered, the enchiladas were not the same as what I'm used to here. And then you mentioned the egg, and yeah, that's some of my favorite cuisine, and it's awesome to know that, it's something that you're passionate about as well. When it comes to this experience, sometimes when we launch something and it takes off the way it does, it's, maybe you can't look back and go, this is what I plan to have happen. What has been your biggest satisfaction as a family from this project? What is it that you love most about what's happened so far?
Well, as far as I think we both, all of us like, is when a customer comes back and says, it was delicious. They really like the cake, because that puts a smile on our faces, because she loves to cook, and now doing the bunts it just makes her feel really good, and all of us feel really good when they say it was delicious, and I'm coming back to you for our buns.
And for me, I feel like it gives us more time together, quality time.
Exactly.
You know, we go and sell together. You know, when Mike gets home, he's helping me package. You know, we're working late at night. You know, getting everything together. Caden, he's out there trying to sell a bunt to anybody and everybody, knows how to run the credit card machine. He's on point. And then just hearing my daughters like, Mom, my friends tried your cake. They didn't know it was you. And oh my gosh, they want to order. And so they get to feel a little bit of that happiness, you know, and like, oh my goodness, my mom, you know, becoming well known for her bundt cakes, and they didn't even know it was my mom. So, you know, hearing my daughter's excitement in that as well. So I think it's just a whole lot of emotions, this whole thing, and it's going so fast for us that it's, you know, it's kind of hard to grasp, but we're enjoying the ride as we go.
Yeah, and just taking it day by day. I mean, good things are happening, and we're just excited about it. I mean, it's hard to explain it, but it's a good feeling for the whole family. And like she said, the bonding time is what's really, really nice about it when we're together.
Yeah. I've said this more than once on my episodes. I've had a teacher in my past that would say food is love, and every time I have a support local, you know, episode of my series, I keep getting reminded of that you know, food is a bonding experience for folks like yourselves, and you know, the phrase food is love is something I adopted, and you guys are living that. What advice would you give to people who find themselves in a situation like yours where they say, I think I've got something, but I'm not quite sure, should I do it? You know, what would be your advice to folks who might think that they can, you know, that they're ready to do something like this?
I would say that they just need to run with it. I really didn't think it, I still don't think, I'm like, you know, wait a minute, where are we going? You know, it's something everybody has kind of pushed towards me, you know, as I was younger. You need to open a bakery, you need to open a restaurant. I'm like, no. I was, you know, the principal at the Juvenile Justice Academy for almost 10 years. You know, I worked there. So this was a huge change of life for me, to go from working with kids, which I have a great passion for, to working with cakes and food. And so, but you know, I was hesitant, wasn't sure it was going to work, and it's going. And every day I'm waiting for it to like just disappear and just to stop, but it just keeps going and going, and it's, you know, expanding. So I would say no matter what, go for it, push, you know, do it. And if it didn't work this time, tweak it and push again. You don't stop until you know, get what you want from it.
Yeah, that's great encouragement, and your success to this point, I think, is a product of that attitude. And so I know that as I have walked through, you know, the experience of getting to know your products and now getting to know you guys, the food is great, but the passion that you guys, you know, show is even greater. So on behalf of a lot of folks who I know are going to be trying your food, thank you for sharing your passion with all of us. Where can we find you? I know Facebook is one, but where else can Drunk Off My Bundt be found so that folks can start finding you, in addition to all those who have?
Well, we can be, our first stop will be Instagram. We have the Facebook as well. And we're working on a web page as we speak. So, and then we're also going to be out at different events throughout the city. There's a couple events that we're excited about that they've asked us to be at, but we'll let y'all know if those work out. But a lot of people are reaching out to us and asking us to come to their event and just be part of their event. So it's like I said, it's growing, and just by word of mouth, it's spreading a little bit here and there. And by the time you know it, you never know what it's going to end up being. It might be something nice, you know.
They can follow us on Facebook is where they're going to find all of our updated event places. We're not very Instagram savvy, and
Yeah.
so our niece has stepped up and said that she's going to start running our Instagram page, so she'll be able to
Nice.
start updating the Instagram. And my son wants to work on the TikTok. He's been talking about the TikTok, so he's going to start working on that. So we want to get out there in the social media realm, and but we invite people to come give us their ideas too. That's one thing, is I love when people give me, hey, can you make this? This is my favorite drink. Can you make it into a cake? And I love to try. So we appreciate ideas and suggestions that anybody would have as well.
Nice. If someone were to want to order your products, is that something that they can do online, or where is a good place to reach out to you to order products?
Well, if they would like to order a product, they can the best spot would start on Facebook or Messenger. Just
Okay.
like us on Facebook, on Drunk Off My Bundt. Like us on Facebook, and that'll give them a way to communicate through the Messenger. And that way, we have it on record. They say if they tell us they want a cake for this day in this flavor, we have it on record, and we'll be able to get it to them. That'd probably be the best way to start off. And then if not, we call us on our cell phones as well.
Gotcha.
So,
Text message, cell phones, message on Instagram, any way they can get with Drunk Off My Bundt, we'll get back with them.
Excellent.
and then the
All
other
right.
day,
Well,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I was looking on Google. My friend was looking on Google at work. He said he Googled Drunk Off My Bundt. Now it's you can find us on the internet as well. He was telling me. He
Nice.
shared that with me at work. I said, okay, I didn't even know that.
Google.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's always fun when that happens. So yeah, absolutely. Well, I tell you what, when we post this, in fact, those who are watching this right now, you can find the Drunk Off My Bundt information in the description below. So please make sure you get out there, check out their Facebook, their Instagram, figure out what you want to order, and get to ordering, because it's some great stuff. I cannot tell you, folks, just how honored I am to have you on the show. I feel very privileged to be able to meet you, and you'll hear a lot from me in terms of promoting the business, and just continued success is what I wish you all. And thank you for sharing your food passion with us here today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for trying our food and your amazing review. You can't get enough. You've had so many compliments on your review that it's just, unbelievable. So we want to thank you very much as well for taking your time out.
Yes, thank you so much, Sergio, for bringing us on your show and just talking a little bit about the Drunk Off My Bundt.
Absolutely. Well, it's been an absolute privilege. And so again, folks, as you're watching this, I've been talking to the Montellano family of Drunk Off My Bundt. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere else you can find them, even Google, and get a hold of them. And I promise you, you're going to love what you order. So on behalf of these fine folks, thank you all so much. And we'll be right back with more here on That Went Well. I had a fantastic time talking to the Montellano family. And as you can see, passion creates awesome things. I really would love to be able to share with you guys the feelings I have when I talk to them about, just being impressed by the work that they're doing. And I know that as you listen to them, you probably thought the same thing. They're a fantastic family that have come up with a very unique business, and I'm excited that they're starting to see a lot of success going forward. So my encouragement to you is check out the information below where you can find Drunk Off My Bundt. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram, and get your orders in, because I tell you, you're missing out if you haven't already tasted their fantastic, fantastic bundt cakes. With that, I say thank you once again to the Montellano family for joining me and for giving me the opportunity to talk to them and learn more about their fantastic business. With that, we come to the close of another featured business here on the Support Local series on That Went Well. I'm excited for future episodes that are coming down the pipeline of other tastings that I'll be doing, other businesses that I'll be featuring, and just continuing this journey with you week to week. Don't forget, if you're watching here on YouTube, thank you so much for doing so. Please click that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you know when episodes land. Along with that, give this episode a like if you enjoyed it. And again, I appreciate so much the time you take to visit with me here. With that, I'll end like I always do. You're awesome, you're amazing, and the world's a better place because you are in it. We'll see you next time on That Went Well.